What's going on, Conquistadors? It is Scotty the Chunky Spaniard. Welcome back to Round Like Me. And it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for a Tunes on a Tuesday, the day that music was supposed to be released until people just started to do whatever they wanted, right? And today, we are 1 week away from Halloween. So I thought, hey, why not? Let's do a video on creepy songs. Now, these may not be creepy songs like instantly that you think of, that you're like, oh my gosh, that is a creepy song. There's a little twist too, because in the thumbnail, if you notice, I'm holding up a Richard Marx CD. Is Richard Marx creepy? What are some of your favorite creepy songs? There's the classics like Monster Mash. There's Nightmare on My Street by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. But today, thought I'd talk about some creepy songs. So first up on our list, when I thought of creep, I was just thinking of songs creep. There's 3 songs that popped into my head. The first song that popped into my head, oddly enough, was Creep by the group TLC. And if you're like me, I bought the Greatest Hits album when it came out. I never owned one of their CDs. I enjoyed Waterfalls. I enjoyed this album, Crazy Sexy Cool, I believe it was, red cover. From T-Boz, Left Eye, and Chili. And Creep, it's such a good tune. The little trumpet at the beginning, it's one of those songs you can just groove to. So I creep, yeah. Go check it out. If you don't know who TLC is, you will love them. But just don't go chasing waterfalls, all right? Second song, Creep, that I thought of was Radiohead, off of Pablo Honey. I don't own that CD, oddly enough. I remember listening to it over and over and over again when I was in high school. We listened to Beck and Radiohead and Pearl Jam and all sorts of other stuff. But Pablo Honey, Creep, classic, been covered a million times, probably been on The Voice and American Idol and all those shows a million times. Good tune. Not the biggest Radiohead fan. I do have the Benz because it has High and Dry on it, which is my favorite Radiohead song. I don't know. I appreciate their creativity. It's one band that I could never wrap my head around or get into. And so Radiohead would be my number 2 creepy song. And the third song that I could think of that had creep just in the title, when I was thinking of creepy songs, was the song Creep by Stone Temple Pilots off of Core, their first major release. And this Creep was not their rocker, you know, they were killing it with songs like Plush and Cracker Man and, you know, Dead and Bloated, just even that, right off the bat, and Creep was like kind of this little weird, like acoustic, with a lot of drum rolls and things like that. Kind of almost gave you a sense of where the second album was gonna go, Purple. But other notable creepy songs, Police, man. Police. Every Breath You Take, so creepy. Stalker, very creepy. When Garth Brooks did his alter ego, I think it was called Chris Gaines. That was really creepy because all of a sudden he had hair and he was trying to be all like suave and like, what's up? I've got a soul patch right here and my hair is amazing. So totally creepy, Garth Brooks. Glad you didn't stick with that. But the one that may not have crossed your mind was Richard Marx. This is Richard Marx's Greatest Hits. It's a great album. I love Richard Marx. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure, maybe it's not, because the guy is an amazing songwriter. He has, if you didn't know, he wrote This I Promise You off of NSYNC's No Strings Attached. Yeah, other songwriting credits. Here's the, I don't know how many pages this is, but here's like the list of songwriting credits. He's written for Kenny Rogers. Yeah, not the chicken Kenny Rogers, the Kenny Rogers chicken place off of Mad TV. I mean, the guy, like I said, he's written for NSYNC. Dude, the guy wrote for Luther Vandross. Like, seriously, he wrote for Luther Vandross. Keith Urban, anybody ever heard of him? Yeah, I know blue's not your color, but Richard Marx is your songwriter, and he's written for Keith Urban. Oh my gosh, he wrote it for 98 Degrees. Maybe it was like he went through a boy band phase or something like that. Oh man, here's a combo. Richard Marx and Michael Bolton. Yeah, wrote a few of his tracks before. But the guy, oh my gosh, Vince Gill, Billy Ray Cyrus, Chicago. Yeah, legendary Chicago. Kenny Loggins. Oh, I love me some Kenny Loggins. Oh, he was the king of the soundtracks of the 80s. And then Sister Hazel. He wrote a few tracks for Sister Hazel, who's one of my favorite bands from the late 90s, early 2000s, who are amazing in concert. And I will get to them one other day on a Tunes on a Tuesday. But Richard Marx has a song called Hazard. If you haven't heard of it, you need to check it out. Story of a guy that moves to this small town as a kid. I could kind of relate when I moved to Oregon about this whole small town feel and this small town vibe, how people kind of look at you different. And people kind of labeled this poor kid as weird right off the bat. And so finally, he finds this girl who he thinks is the love of his life. And she accepts him for who he is. And if you watch the video, there's kind of like a little breakup kind of thing going on. He runs home, totally destroyed. And the girl winds up dead the next morning. And who does the town pin it on? The weird new kid, right? So they try and pin it on him. And this is the little town of Hazard. It takes you back to a time when people actually told stories, when there was storytelling in songwriting. And Richard Marx has always done that. His greatest hits, I suggest you get it. I have this. They used to come out with singles on CD, children. Yeah, this had 3 songs on it. I don't think you can see it. But it had Until I Find You Again, this song called Silent Scream that I wasn't a big fan of, and then another one of Right Here Waiting. I learned to play that on the piano. Got me a lot of looks from the ladies. Then he came out with Days in Avalon. I don't remember anything notable off of that, but a few years back, 2011 to be exact, he came out with this called Stories to Tell. And I would get this if I were you. If you're a Richard Marx fan or you like 80s pop, it has 2 CDs. It has the best of Richard Marx and then the acoustic, the live acoustic versions of that, plus the DVD of the concert. Stories to Tell. My big suggestion, acoustic versions of all the tracks, the best of Richard Marx, which I already have, but I got it again because love it, and the live DVD. So good. And if you didn't know, Richard Marx teamed up with Matt Scannell, I don't know how to say his last name, the lead singer and guitarist of Vertical Horizon. That's right, Everything You Want, if you know that song. Vertical Horizon, huge band back in the early 2000s, amazing guitar player, and Matt and Richard teamed up and did a duos album where they did Richard Marx songs and Vertical Horizon songs, both acoustic and like together. It was 2 acoustic guitars. Matt is an amazing, notice how I'm avoiding his last name? Matt is an unbelievable guitarist, and I didn't know this until I saw them live. And he shreds. That guy can shred, okay, like a cheddar on the guitar. And Richard Marx, amazing songwriter, both together in an album called Duo. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. The album Duo looks like this. It has Richard and Matt on a couch. Very cool. And it has like hits like Endless Summer Nights, Hazard. There's that song again. Then it's got Give You Back by Vertical Horizon, Everything You Want. We Are, Vertical Horizon again. But it's just a really, really good album if you like acoustic music. So, Creepy songs. Go check out TLC, Creep. Go back and give Creep, if it's not already in your rotation, by Radiohead. Go listen to that. Give STP's original album, Core, a good listen. And Creep, you'll see how that kind of like throws off the little rock vibe that they had going on. Lots of little drum rolls. Other creepy stuff, you want to go check out Garth Brooks' alter ego, Chris Gaines. I think that's the name of it. The Police are always a good call with Every Breath You Take, but I'm telling you, go back and listen to some Richard Marx. Get Stories to Tell, or get the greatest hits, Because is Richard Marx creepy? No, Richard Marx isn't creepy. But the song Hazard, super creepy, super dark. If you're looking for dark and a good story, Hazard by Richard Marx. And then go and cry your eyes out while you listen to Right Here Waiting and relive your high school years and the lost loves or the what could have beens. So, little twist on this Tunes on a Tuesday. We started off with Creep and Creep and Creep, and then threw it into pop songwriter extraordinaire Richard Marx. Not a creepy guy, creepy song, Hazard. Go listen to it. But that's gonna wrap up our Tunes on a Tuesday. No guitar today. I'm planning on getting back to that in a week or two when I have a little bit more time. But thank you for coming back. Thank you for checking this out. The faithful that watch Tunes on a Tuesday, it's not very many. It's in the below 200s. That's okay. But thank you for always coming back. Thank you for watching. And remember, Conquistadors, be a better person tomorrow than you were today. And I'll see you next time on Round Like Me. And Thursday, we're gonna do some more tattoo reveal because got some more work done this weekend. Super stoked and super sore. So I'll see you next time on Round Like Me. Take care. Bye. I waved a little early on that one. That's okay. There's a lot of people walking by, super distracted. But now I got to go. See ya.